Hey, welcome to the Undercover Adventure Podcast. Today we're going to talk to Clark Anus. Clark is a Crossville native. He grew up in Bledsoe County in the Sequatchie Valley. Just amazing outdoor athlete. He's an ultramarathon runner. He's a whitewater canoer. He's a alpinist. He's a canyoneer. If he sits still for more than 5 minutes, something's hurt. He gets outside more than most people I know, and he's getting up there as far as staying active, staying enthusiastic about just exploration, adventure, fishing. So I hope you enjoy the show. He's a pretty awesome guy. I met him on a Grand Canyon expedition back in 2022, and he's just a wonderful person to talk to. I really enjoyed our conversation. Well, hey, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you making the trek down here. Yeah. I follow your stuff on Facebook and kind of watch like you and Spence and all the adventures that you guys do. You guys get after it like every week.
Yeah, we have fun every week, but as much as we can.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up? Did you grow up here in Tennessee?
No, in Bledsoe County, actually, down the Sequatchie Valley.
Okay. And did you guys, like, was your family out? Like, how did you get into all this?
Well, we lived kind of on the side of the Cumberland Plateau and lived right next to Whitewater property, which was thousands of acres. So I just had like all kinds of big playground in my backyard.
Yeah. When you were, did you have a big family? Was your dad, did he take you guys out? Like, how did?
Well, I'm the youngest. I'm the 5 siblings, or four, and one, me counting me 5, but I'm the youngest, and my oldest sister's like 86, and so my oldest 2 siblings were already gone from home. I guess time I was born, I was kind of a latecomer, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe a mistake.
A whoops.
Yeah.
Did your brothers and sisters, like, were you tagging along with them out doing their thing? Like,
not a lot with them. I mean, we camped a lot. My dad had a pop-up camper and a boat. He worked most of the time, but sometimes when he's off, we got to go camping. We also had big family reunions over on the lake, and everybody camped, and so got to do a lot of water skiing, and just started loving outdoors, I guess, at a very young age.
Yeah. When did it, so did you hunt and fish? Like, when did it transition into kind of like some of the water stuff?
I mean, I always probably fished on the water, like in John boats and then canoes, and kind of graduated, I guess, to a kayak about 10 years ago when I found out about TSRA and had their big rendezvous they have right here at the Camp Naconawa. So,
Did you did you paddle open canoe when you first were kind of coming up, or
just recreation canoes?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you kind of get to the point where you were like, okay, this is cool, like I want to start?
Probably when I got introduced to TSRA and knew they went out and did whitewater things, and I always hiked along creeks and thought, wow, that'd be cool to paddle down that thing if it's ever possible. But so I bought a kayak. Probably the first kayak I bought was like a Swifty, just not even really a whitewater boat, and I didn't have a skirt and helmet, and took a trip from Obed from I-40 down to Adams Bridge, and fortunately a park ranger went along with us because we were actually doing some recon to see where there might be some pH issues in the Obed, and we were in an office, and I was talking about doing it with a couple of people that worked in the GIS department from the city of Crossville. So he said, "You mind if I tag along?" And he did, and it's a good thing because he'd probably had to be rescued if it hadn't been for him.
Was it Matt?
Matt, yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a great
cool
guy.
Dude.
Yeah.
I see him out at the Lily Bridge every now and then.
Yeah, he's known Matt for a while, and he's just a super.
He gets after it,
he's retired
too.
now, I think, doing some teaching down at UT. So.
Yep. I actually saw him, Sawbriar, the hunting lodge up in Fentress County.
Yeah.
They do an event called Feather to Fork, and he was up there as an exhibitor. I see him every year at this event, and I always stop and chit-chat with him because him and I pair up sometimes when we do like swiftwater, like missing person, search and rescue stuff.
Okay.
He's a big like missing person, lost hiker.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good paddler too.
Oh, he's a rock climber, paddler. He does it all.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a super great guy.
Awesome. So was that like your first, that Obed trip? Was that kind of like your first, like?
It was probably my first introduction to whitewater, so I knew after that I've got to get some more gear and get a little bit more serious before I ever try something like this
Yeah.
again.
Who did you, like when you first, so, you grew up around the outdoors, you kind of start like, one of the things that I love about your story and kind of like what I've watched from you is you don't let anything slow you down. You don't let, I mean, when people think outdoor adventure, they think a bunch of young guns getting out there and doing stuff. And you and Spence are like out there making it happen all the time. And you just don't let age, you don't let the weather, you don't let anything slow you down. So how with your story and kind of where you guys grew up in this area and then now you just discovered whitewater at and maybe a little bit older than most people would, what is your advice to people that are maybe in their 30s or their 40s and they're like, oh, I can't do that. Like that, I can't do that. Like,
I'm not sure if I got that question exactly.
well, so like when people, some people like in their 30s and 40s, they think they're too old to get outside and be active. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying?
It'd be hard to believe that, but
I know, but some people, I've heard people tell me that. They're like, I can't do that. That's like a young person's game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's all in your head. You know? So how did, like, what advice do you have for people that are messed up with the way they think about that kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, I've always, I guess, did things afraid. I mean, I still do things. I'm nervous when I do things. I'm probably a little nervous right here doing this. But, it's okay to be afraid to do things. That just makes you cautious and do it safely. And I've been blessed to be around a lot of people being invited to stuff, and I usually don't say, I say, yeah, I'll go. I don't turn it down, and before I even realize what I'm getting into, and I'll try to figure it out as I go and just have fun with it.
When did you meet Spence? Have you known him for a long time?
Not a long time. He's got a band called Steep Creek, and I think I heard him did a bike ride called Ride to the Sky down in Cookville probably about 10 years ago, and his band was playing. And he just invited me one day to go paddle with him on the Emory River, and we put in a canoe and caught a bunch of smallmouth and had fun. So he started inviting me for a few other things. He's far advanced more than I am in experience on whitewater and everything. I've learned a lot from Spence. He's a great friend.
Yeah. So what was your first like big adventure together that you guys took? Did you guys do like an overnighter? Or?
Yeah, we probably. He invited me on an overnighter canoe trip. I don't even remember exactly the first one. We've done so many, but we've done several on Obed. 2 days, 3 nights, and we do it at lower flow where you can kind of not as big water getting through the rapids. We line our canoes through the big rapids and, fish ever eddy out and fish every time. And usually we've caught as many, I guess, as 75 smallmouth and rock bass a day on some of the trips. And, we return them all back to the river except just enough for a good fish fry dinner.
Yeah. Eat like kings.
Yeah.
How when did you get into the canyoneering side of things? Because I've seen you do some rappelling and canyoneering. And
well, I was in Tennessee Tech in the 70s and ROTC, and, we rappelled off the side of the stadium, went up at Center Hill Lake, and, and I didn't do it for years. And just a few years ago, a friend, Nelson Matthews, had a bunch of rappelling gear. It's probably outdated, but he said, "You want this?" And I said, "Sure." And
absolutely.
Started doing a few things with it and wound up, getting some better gear and watched some YouTube videos, and that's how I got started, I guess.
So what was your career in? What was your occupation?
Worked for the city of Crossville for the first 10 years, and they contracted out the wastewater treatment system, management of that. I worked probably 26 years for Veolia Water after the 10 years for the city of Crossville before I retired.
And is that what you went to school at Tech for?
Yes.
Okay. What was your major?
Industrial technology.
Okay. Yeah. And then did you do, like, when you were at Tennessee Tech, did you do any with their outdoor rec program, or?
Not a lot. took scuba diving, PE classes, and did as much outdoor stuff as I could then too. We did a lot of caving, go out with groups, and just whatever we could get into.
Awesome. When you retired, it seemed like because I was talking to you a little bit in the Grand Canyon, you were like, yeah, man, I didn't get into all this stuff till after I retired. And I was like, what? Like, how did that open up your calendar or your schedule to be able to do more?
Well, it kind of began doing a few things while I was still working because it just a lot of stress in the job. So I started trail running a little bit, and I thought this is kind of fun. It's just like fast hiking, you know, and I could do it, after just in between going home and then having to go back into work, and lived pretty close to about 3 miles from Cumberland Mountain State Park. So I did all those trails out there for years. I would be out there trail running sometimes at midnight. I'd tell the park rangers, my Jeep's going to be in front of the, don't worry about it. It's parked out in front of your headquarters.
Yeah.
It'll be late when I get back. So make them aware of that.
Yeah.
And then I just started cycling to cross-train for trail running. And after retired, I'd already been doing all those things. And all of a sudden, I had just plenty of time to do it all the time, much as I wanted. So had fun with it, still am.
Hey, if you guys love the show, you want to see more of it, it does take a bit of effort to produce this content. So if you want to let us know maybe a potential guest to see in the future, or just want to let us know how you like it, leave us a review, leave us a comment on YouTube. Just let us know what you think. We're going to keep adding more guests and try to get more people in here and keep talking to more and more individuals who are outdoor extreme sports athletes or endurance athletes who also push the limit in career and professional endeavors as well. So just drop us a line, let us know what you think, or let us know a recommendation for someone on the show, and we'd love to read those. What trail races have you done as far as like what do you... Are you training for anything, or do you just get out there and do it for the love of it?
I've done 10 100-mile races over the years. I hadn't done any probably in about 3 years. Last one I'd done finished was No Biz 100 up at Big South Fork. So
that's wild.
Yeah, and then my wife and I have done several half marathons and marathons together. I'm not fast by no means.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to compete or anything like that. It's just my goal's always been just to meet the next cutoff and finish.
What kind of preparation do you do for those? Because ultras, I don't think people realize how much like nutritional management goes into stuff like that, like your mindset. Like, what do you do to prepare for that?
I mean, what you prepare for anything, you just do a lot of it, as much as you can, as often as you can. And it's a mental thing. Like, I started, the first trail race I did was just out the Bird Creek trail race out there, and I did like 3.9 miles, and there were people doing a 9-miler, and I thought, wow, how could anybody do a 9-miler? So it's just a mental thing. I mean, it's just, I used to, go up to Black Mountain and run up and down from 68 a couple of times, at night with a headlamp on, before I had a race. And it just kind of addictive to get into it, just to know that you can do something, and it just challenges you. Well, if I can do that, somebody else can do it. If I push myself and try, I think I can do that too.
With the whitewater stuff, what's some of the cool trips that you've done as far as overnighters? Like, what are some that stick out in your mind? Because you guys go all over. I mean, I see you post on Facebook. You're like, I'm in Big South Fork. I'm down in, Hiawassee over here, and then we're going over here, and I'm going out to the Buffalo, and I'm just like, I'm coming to the Grand Canyon. It's like you're all over the place. What are some of the cool ones that stick out?
It's just a lot of fun. Probably some of the best ones have been from Devil's Breakfast Table to Nemo. And then 127 on Clear Creek down to Barnett Bridge is probably one of the most scenic ones in the whole plateau. I mean, there's just so much in that 20-mile stretch. You just paddle.
What is it? I've never done that before.
Oh, you paddle under rock houses, and just huge canyons, and it's just remote. There's no access to it. I guess if you put in at 127 on Clear Creek, you're pretty much committed to Barnett, so it's got to be like at least a 2 or 3 day trip, depending on the level and the flow and how fast you want to go, how much you fish, how much you explore the side streams, which we love doing that when I go with Spence. Every side stream we'll see where it originates at, and just go as far as we can till we see no trespassing signs or somebody standing there with a gun.
How about Big South Fork? What's your favorite stuff up there to explore?
Oh, of course, the canyon, through Big South Fork from not Barnett Bridge, Burnt Mill Bridge, down to Leatherwood. And I paddle Leatherwood down to Station Camp several times in the 80s before I even got into whitewater. My brother, he moved up to Chicago right after he graduated, or right after he got out of school in the 60s. So he'd come down in the summertime, bring his canoe, and we'd always do it seemed like it'd be about a 4 to 6 hour trip when we'd do that.
Nice. What about, have you explored any of the over towards the Smokies in that area?
Not a lot. I mean, I've hiked all the trails, been to LeConte. I don't know how many times. I used to take our group Royal Rangers from church when I worked with boys. We'd do a hike up there every year, and hiked in the snow. Been up there when it was like 2 foot of snow on the top, but it's still blue sky and 50 degrees, so you could be in shorts and it just, and still not be cold. And
what about, have you explored Scotts Gulf, that whole area?
Where now?
Scotts Gulf,
yeah,
Fork,
Savage Gulf.
Yeah.
I've hiked a lot of trails. There's a lot of beautiful waterfalls. That's a great area to explore. Stone Door. I've not backpacked down there, but I've been on just about every trail, I guess, on day trips.
What do you get out of it? You charge harder than anybody I know in this area for being retired, and most people, they think I'm retired, I'm just gonna go sit on the couch.
Yeah.
What gets you out there getting after it?
I just, I'd rather be outdoors than indoors. When I'm indoors, I'm thinking about being outdoors, and we're really blessed that we found a little cabin out at Cumberland Lakes, and it's got glass on it, so in the wintertime, we turn the lights off at night and just look at the stars with the fireplace going, and I'm thinking about, what's out there to do, next week or whatever, and waiting on somebody to invite me. I've been really blessed with meet so many people through TSRA, and even got to go on a Grand Canyon trip with you a couple of years ago. That was probably one of the most exciting things I've ever done in my life, probably.
What's TSRA? Describe the
Tennessee Scenic Rivers Association.
For people that don't know, what is that?
It's just an organization that's been around for a while, and their goal is to teach people how to safely paddle in whitewater. There's all kinds of training events. They have a rendezvous every year out at Camp Naconawa, and anybody can sign up, become a member and come out and learn to kayak. They have training schools on the Hiwassee River usually every summer, and it's a great group of people. I've met so many people from other paddling organizations in Chattanooga and Knoxville, and everybody just gets together and looks out for each other and helps everybody in their gear selection. There's all kinds of ways you can get into it. You don't have to spend a ton of money buying new stuff. You can buy a lot of equipment that people have for sale when they're upgrading, different things like that.
What's the rendezvous? So there's TSRA, the organization.
Yeah,
and there's the
rendezvous is just a big gathering where everybody that's in TSRA gets together for about 3 days. They camp. Some of them camp. Some of them stay in cabins, and they put clipboards on the wall with somebody's going to guide a trip. It can be anything from a flat water paddle up to class 5, 4 or 5, and depending on the flows, sometimes we have to drive to over to Hiwassee or the Tellico, or someplace like that if there's no water on the plateau. But there's usually water somewhere to paddle, so everybody just gets together, have a big auction, raise funds to build access points and promote safety. They got a lot of goals. I'm probably not even remembering all of them right now, but they work hard to for people that like to paddle whitewater in Tennessee.
And then you talked about that. That's where you and I met, was on that grand trip. I think that was 22 or 23.
So, yeah.
I don't remember exactly. I think it was February or March or 23. But what was that like? Because
John Snyder just called me up one day and said, there's a guy that canceled on the trip. I think it was supposed to be a doctor from California, and he didn't get to make it. So I had a little bit of notice, and he said, "You want to go?" And I just said yes. And didn't even. I told my wife about it, after, and started. Spence really helped me. He'd been on a couple of trips before, so he kind of helped me getting the gear together and told me about it, and he prepared me for it, and then we had a great group. I mean, I couldn't have asked for any better group of guys to paddle down the Grand Canyon with for the first time. And
for people that have never been there, what's a Grand Trip like?
Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. I mean, there's so much geology and so much fun on the rapids. It just changes all the way down, and so many areas to explore, so many different kinds of cactuses. I mean, I was just at awe. I mean, how tall are some of those walls, like on the side and the steepest part?
Hundreds of feet.
I mean, it just looked like you were looking right up the side of a wall into the heavens,
right.
In certain days. I mean, I was just at awe all the way down every mile of 226 miles of it.
Yeah. What was your favorite hikes?
I can't even remember the name of it. It was where the waterfalls was coming down.
Deer Creek?
Yeah, and Spence and I guess we took off, and just the two of us, we went up just bushwhacking, I guess you'd call it, as far as we could go up to the top of this really difficult area to navigate, but we made it back, and it looked like an oasis. There was, that's the only place that we saw a lot of green, I guess, in the trip, if that's that's the right place.
What was some of your favorite parts of the whitewater? There's some pretty stout whitewater in there.
Yeah, there's some very stout whitewater in there. I guess, what was the last big rapid that we went through that you hit before you get to Diamond?
Oh, lava?
Lava, yeah, that lava. I mean, I walked up with everybody to scout it, and, it doesn't look so bad when you're looking at it from a distance, but when you get in it, and you see nothing but, 20-foot waves all around you and everything. But I really wasn't too nervous about it, because by the time we got to that one, we'd been through so many others that those boats are pretty stable in that, but you can flip them. And we're fortunate that we only had like one little incident at the Little Bastard.
Yeah. My favorite part of lava is I've been on a few trips, and I don't do it every single time, but if I can, we'll camp at Tequila Beach. And then if someone in the group has a kayak, most of the time I'm stuck on oars, I'll oar rig. But if someone in the group has a kayak, I'll hike the kayak up to the top, run the rapid again, but I'll catch that eddy halfway down on the left.
Yeah.
You know where that hot spring dumps out?
Yeah.
And so I'll catch that eddy halfway down, and I'll put my dinner in the back of my boat.
Yeah.
Tie my boat up, make dinner, and I'll sit in that hot spring, and I'll eat dinner and watch the sun go down.
Yeah,
and just sitting there. I mean, you got this massive rapid right in front of you, and you got camp down here, and then you got the sun setting, and then you're just not all great. Sunsets are created equal. There's awesome. Some that are just better than others.
Yeah, that canyon, or that rapid, I remember that night, you got the tall vertical wall on the other side of it, and the sound just bounces off of it. It just echoes. It sounds like distant thunder all night long, because it's so loud and so huge and everything. That was definitely a memorable rapid on that trip for sure.
What's some of your favorite or hardest whitewater around here that you've gotten into?
Probably for me, it'd be the canyon at Big South Fork. I paddled probably Double Falls for the first time about a year ago, January, and it was had a couple of swims after that, like at the L and everything. We were paddling when there was still ice on the edge of the river, and but that's a great one. And of course, Lily to Nemo is just so amazing. It's so beautiful in the first part of it, through the canyon part of it, especially, and all the way down it. But there's a lot of them. There's many of them. I don't really have a favorite run. I like all of them that I can make it through, I guess.
Yeah. Describe like So for like people that aren't necessarily outdoorsy or whatnot, like describe the outdoor culture or like the outdoor community, because it's it's like 500 of your closest friends around the like all the kayakers and open boaters. You see them, the same people at the put-ins. You see the same
Yeah,
people at the
you do. Yeah,
takeouts. And it's like
yeah,
everyone's just one big family.
yeah,
Describe kind of how everyone kind of looks out for each other, and like you have your own group,
yeah,
and then you're also
yeah.
not demanded, but you're kind of expected to perform and have your
Hmm.
stuff together. If you have a bad day, people pick up the slack and
Sure.
they'll take care of you. But like, what's the overall culture like?
Oh, it's great. I mean, you just meet so many people, and then you meet one person, and then through that person you meet another, and everybody just looks out for each other for sure. I mean, you want to be on somewhat the same level of skill when you paddle certain sections of whitewater for sure. But it's it's kind of a culture where you feel part of it, whether you're part of it or not. You get accepted into it if you make an effort. Everybody's learning something every time. You never quit learning everything. So it's great. I mean, it's just I feel blessed to be in a part of so many different groups and things. A lot of people, I guess, that I run into, they just cycle, or they just whitewater kayak, or they just do this. But I love doing everything. I'm not great at anything, but I'll make an effort, to get better at anything I do. And
Yeah. What advice would you give? Like, like let's say somebody they just found they just found trail running, or they just found whitewater, or they just found climbing. Like, what advice would you give to people that want to get better at something, but they just found like their thing?
well, certainly, I mean, hook up with a group, and 'cause there's plenty of people that's willing to mentor you, and just start. You don't have to just get out on a trail and get some good trail running shoes, and be safe with it. You don't want injuries or anything like that, but hook up to organizations like TSRA. I'm sure there's like hiking clubs and running clubs and things like that, but you can do it on your own. You don't have to be a part of a group. I mean, you YouTube anything now and learn about a lot of different things. So that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And you don't have to feel like you're inadequate, because everybody started, doing some at some point, like trail running. I mean, I was real nervous about 3.9 miles, and probably the longest event that I'd done was like Ball State, which was 314 miles across the state. It wasn't all running, but it was a pretty big challenge for me for sure on that. And
How do you get over like not insecurity but anxiety? Like you were talking walking in here, you were like, oh, this is not really my speed. I
Yeah.
don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, they like the idea of going kayaking down like class 2 or class 3 or class 4 is just beyond like that's really nervous for a lot of people. Or going climbing is so like trying to take that first step into a community of people that are outdoorsy. How did I mean, you kind of grew up in it and that was like your whole life, but for somebody that doesn't necessarily, they feel so much anxiety about trying to take that first step,
yeah.
how would you approach like walking them through it? Just like how do you approach kind of letting them kind of try to get some of that anxiety out of their head?
You just have to kind of chill and just talk about it, and
Should you be honest with people in your group, or should you just like go in there and just be like, I'm doing it, I'm going for it?
say again. I'm not.
So like, would you be honest and tell people like, this is really, I'm out of my comfort zone here.
Yeah.
Like I'm really kind of pushing myself. Or would you just try to like bottle all that up and just go into it?
Maybe somewhere in the middle of that. I mean, I don't want to say I'm, make them feel like I probably don't belong there because I'm so nervous about it. But at the same time, you just, like I said earlier, you got to do things with a little fear. I mean, do things afraid. If you discomfort and fear keeps a lot of people from doing a lot of different things. I mean, you got to push to a little bit of discomfort to reach the enjoyment of anything like that, and past your fear. Anxiety is probably a real thing for just about everybody to a certain degree, but you just got to get past that, or you'll miss out on a lot of opportunities.
And then what do you love about Tennessee? What do you love about this area?
I love everything about Tennessee. People, I mean, I've not been traveled as much as a lot of people, but I've traveled a little bit, and I'm always happy to be and feel really fortunate to have grown up in Tennessee. And we got so many things around us right here on the Cumberland Plateau and east of us. It's just amazing. I mean, I'm so appreciative of that every day. I mean, feel blessed to be here.
Well, when I think of like Tennessee Mountain Man, I think of Clark. 'Cause
I'm not a mountain man. I can't even grow a beard.
But I just like you got so many different skill sets, and you've got a mindset to go with each one. And you're the kind of person that you're always learning. I always feel like every time I see what you're doing, you're getting like 1% better and like 1% better on whatever it is. You got so many different hobbies. You got so many different passions. But I just want to let you know there's a lot of people that think you're awesome. A lot of people are watching what you're doing.
I appreciate that, but I'm just a guy trying to enjoy my retirement.
Well, I'm a big fan. So
yeah.
Anyway, I appreciate you coming down. I appreciate you doing this and taking time out of your schedule. I know you're a busy guy, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got trails to go run and the rivers to go paddle. So
I'm going to go home and make another pot of coffee probably.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this, man.
Right.
I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Chad.